The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the raw and uncensored Ambitchious podcast. I'm your host, the original HBIC, Katie Boyd. During our time here together, I will be instilling all of the strength, power, and determination you will need to use the very stones thrown at you to build your ultimate empire. We will redefine the word bitch from the derogatory to the acronym being in total control of herself. So let's adjust our crowns and prepare to live life ambitiously. Aw, yeah, here I am, the original HBIC Katie motherfucking Boyd. Hello, everybody. And over here, to my right-hand side, is my ride or die, Matt Babine.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Today is kind of like a serious thing. I think it's a little heavy, but we have to talk about it because I know so many people that I know deal with sometimes more than one gaslighting narcissist.
Oof.
So that's what the Ambitchious podcast is all about today, is top 5 ways to deal with the gaslighting narcissist that's in your life. God bless you if you have one.
Oh, God.
Seriously.
Run like the wind.
Run like the wind. But as I always start every Ambitchious podcast, I always start with our iTunes review of the week, and it is from Werewolves Are Awesome. Everything Katie has to say is beyond helpful. Instead of sitting there while she speaks, her humor and personality forces me to laugh along and participate. The other day, I was at the store staring at a bag of chips. I can't imitate this. And as I reached for the bag, Katie's words about eliminating temptations echoed in my mind. She helped me tune into my control, and I avoided the unhealthy purchase. Thanks, Katie. Keep doing you, girl. And she gave me 5 stars.
That's awesome.
Werewolves are awesome. Email me at themisfitclub@gmail.com to redeem your $100 gift certificate to use towards anything KBMFC related. I appreciate it. And if you are new to the Ambitchious podcast, welcome. And if you've been hanging around the block for a little while and your ass has not given us a 5-star review on iTunes, get your titties over there and give us a goddamn review, for Christ's sakes.
Quickly.
I'm not just here for my looks. Well, sometimes
Actually, I think you are.
It depends.
You're very beautiful.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. So get over there and give us a review. 5-star, baby. We work really hard to produce this podcast every week. It takes a lot of work and research. And, you know, I don't just stroll up here guns blazing with no ammo.
No, you have
I need
plenty
to know.
of ammo.
I need to know what I'm doing. So today is all about the top 5 ways to deal with a gaslighting narcissist. I have been an attractor of gaslighting narcissists most of my life. Usually there is this struggle between the empathic energy type person and the gaslighting narcissist, because the gaslighting narcissist actually preys on empaths, right?
Yeah, I didn't even know that this was a term until you brought it to my attention.
Right.
And said,
So I was doing all like, well, I know it firsthand, but I always like
I just thought they were just assholes.
No, yeah, there's a lot of those.
I was like, that guy's an asshole. I didn't know exactly there was a description of this person.
It's a fucking personality disorder, dude. It's
like, so's an asshole.
Yeah,
but I like this one better.
Well, this really pinpoints what kind of an asshole it is, right?
Right.
So if you guys don't know what a gaslighter is, or a narcissist, or a gaslighting narcissist, I'm going to break it down for you. So the term gaslight actually comes from the Academy Award-winning 1944 film where a man systematically sets out to drive his wife insane by trying to make her doubt the reality of her own perceptions. And today, that word has been used to describe a range of behaviors where one person tries to manipulate another person to accept things as true that are 100% false. A gaslighter is someone who is self-centered, has little to no empathy, and has an obsession with always being right, having the last word, or winning in an argument or disagreement. And this also ties in greatly with being a narcissist. And if you are in a relationship now and these descriptions are seemingly eerie, almost like I'm watching you right now on The Truman Show, you may be in a relationship or be related to a gaslighter Gaslighting Narcissist. So I compiled 7 questions to ask yourself. So if you're at home, or you're on the treadmill, or you're in your car and you're listening to this, here are 7 questions to find out if truly you are in a relationship with or related to a gaslighting narcissist. So, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Do you have any gaslighting narcissists in your life?
I don't think I do.
Have you ever?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I definitely have. I just was like, I got to get away from this person. This person's just negative, or this is just not a person I want to be around.
Well, you're not really an empath, though.
No.
Which is great.
I'm a person that just cuts people out real quickly. It's like, this doesn't work anymore. I'm out of here.
Yeah, Matt is like the friggin' guillotine. He's just like, I'm done with this.
I'm done. I don't need to put up with any of this bullshit.
But I always like to save people. That's like one of my worst qualities.
Yes, but you're getting much better with that.
I'm trying so hard. It's a daily struggle, people. I know everyone at home is shaking their head going like, yes, I understand. So here's the 7 questions. I want you guys to ask yourself truthfully and deeply if this is what you're dealing with. So number 1, do they try to persuade you to doubt the evidence of your thoughts and your feelings? That's number 1. Number 2, do they try to convince you that what you believe is wrong and what they believe is the Bible? Number 3, do they react harshly if you do not accept their vision of the truth? 4, are they ridiculously persistent after you've asked them numerous times during an argument to stop? Right? Have you ever had people like that? Yeah. They'll just keep going and going and going. And you're like, I have asked you to stop. I will even say it's my fault. Just stop fucking fighting with me. And they will not stop.
Oh, they bring up subjects that are taboo, right? And it's like, I really don't want to talk about this. I can hang around with you, but I don't want to talk about certain subjects. Right. And they just go right to that particular subject.
That's another form of gaslighting, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. 'Cause it's like, when you ask someone, like, for instance, like we have acquaintances that always talk about politics with us.
Yes.
And I'm like having like a nice dinner, and then they just start like fucking talking about politics, and we'll literally look at them and say, we really don't talk about politics, especially at the dinner table. Like, it's so fucking rude and disgusting. And that's just my opinion. I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, this bitch is crazy.
And we're not political people, right? Yeah,
we are political people, but I choose not to taint a $400 dinner
with a bunch of bullshit.
With wine from the Chateauneuf-du-Pape region talking about fucking politics. Like, I have better shit to do with my time. Let's talk about love and life and like all the good stuff. Why do we have to talk about politics? Like, fuck. Yeah. And then when you tell them to stop and they keep pushing, I think that has a little bit of narcissism in it too, because it's like, are you not picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
Are you that
I just said I don't want to talk about politics, but thanks, let's move on.
But they still go.
Yes, go.
So if we stopped hanging out with you and we haven't gone to dinner with you lately, maybe that's why. If you're listening out there in podcast land.
In podcast land is right.
Number 5, do they attempt to bully you into admitting that they are right and what you think or feel is wrong? Oh, God.
Not good.
Number 6, in an argument, do they twist the facts so they look like the victim and that everything that transpired was your fault? People like this.
Oh my God. Like there's everything turns and twists. They try to keep you so freaking confused.
Yes.
And I'm like, wait a second, start from the beginning.
Oh, that's actually next. That's number 7.
Oh, it is?
You just hit
Jesus.
it.
Okay.
Well, Number 7, do they twist the arguments up so bad to prove their point and in turn complicating the argument until you are thoroughly confused?
Yes.
That's what you're just talking about.
Yeah.
By the end of it, you're like, what are we fighting about? I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about anymore. Yeah. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
So if you find yourself answering yes to many of these questions that I just asked, you're probably 110% in a relationship or related to a gaslighting narcissist. And the reason why, there's many reasons why people are gaslighting narcissists, but the top 3 reasons that I've kind of found out through research and just for personal experience is, number 1, the narcissist is hiding something from you that they don't want you to find out. So they're constantly trying to like move the pieces on the chess table to confuse you, to keep you always guessing, whatever.
You're a psychopath.
Dude, there's so many people like that in the world.
Get a job.
Get a life.
Get a life. Do something. It's a little bit too much. I mean, God's sakes.
People live for this
way
shit.
Too much time on their hands.
No, there's people that literally live for this. Number 2, they want you to change something about yourself to make them happy. Because remember, it's always about what the narcissist feels. They don't care about what you feel. They don't care about anything about you. It's always to make themselves feel good and safe, et cetera, et cetera.
And this is to the 10th degree, because everyone thinks they're the most important person, right?
Right.
We all
we're all
do. We all do.
self-centered.
But these people are like it's on steroids.
Yes.
I mean, these people are just, everything is about me. They never look outside of themselves. It's always, well, how is this going to affect me? What can I get? And not good.
And how can I torture other people?
And how can I torture other people?
Some of the gaslighting narcissists are actually torturers.
They enjoy it.
They love it. They get off on it, which is number 3. They want to control you. They want to gain power over you, which actually feeds their ego, and it actually exacerbates their mental illness. So they actually get like a high off of this.
Out of this control.
Yeah.
Out of this. Wow.
It's like
crazy.
Sleeping with the Enemy shit. Do you remember that movie?
Oh my God, it scared the shit out of me.
Oh,
yeah.
So scary. Julia Roberts was
that
awesome.
And the other one, what was it? With Michael Douglas.
Fuck. Oh God, what the hell? Would she cook the bunny in the pot?
Oh God, she was something. Was she a gaslighter?
Movie?
What the hell was she?
Oh, she was something.
she was a
fucking sociopath.
Butterfly. She was stabbing herself in the leg. Scared the shit out of me.
Oh my God. And there was also a movie called A Thin Line Between Love and Hate with Martin Lawrence. Do you remember Martin Lawrence?
I love Martin.
Oh, yeah, but it was like a serious movie.
Really?
Where he was with a chick that was a gaslighting narcissist, and she would like punch herself in the face and then go to the cops and like say that, he beat me and shit.
Wow.
There's people
Poor
out there like this.
was getting his ass kicked.
Damn, Gina. Except it wasn't Gina in that movie. It was some other crazy
was a psychopath gaslighter.
There's no real easy way to deal with this type of personality disorder, but let me tell you, I've had my fair share of relationships like this over the years, and I have compiled the top 5 ways to deal with the gaslighting narcissist in your life, because truly, if you are dealing with the gaslighting narcissist on a daily basis, it's almost feels like you are imprisoned by this person. And remember, we allow what goes on in our lives. So if you are being controlled by someone who's a gaslighting narcissist, it's up to you to really cut it off, because they will never, because they're getting all of their energy from sucking the life literally out of your soul. So, you ready for this one?
This is going to be great, yeah.
Limit your contact. Number 1. This is the best way to really just put it out there. The less contact that you have with this human, the better. The less contact, the better you will feel about yourself, and the more time you will have to heal, because honestly, years of being in relationship or being related to a gaslighting narcissist is so much torturous abuse that it can feel like being in the most abusive relationship. And honestly, like, gaslighting is so torturous, in my opinion. I would rather, not that I want to get hit, but it's almost easier to get beat than deal with this, because it just really rips your psyche to shreds.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think people stick around people that are that, basically evil, right? Because they're trying to manipulate your mind. They're trying to make you doubt yourself, which is like really evil, right? Especially when you know something is true. They only have one agenda, their agenda, right? And it's never a good agenda. It's why do you think people in general will stick around with somebody like that? I mean,
there's a couple reasons, but my opinion is very low self-worth and self-esteem and self-confidence. So there's something that the person that's being gaslighted by this narcissist is actually getting out of it.
Gotcha,
some people are addicted to the drama too.
Right.
Like some people go, I don't like drama, but they really love it.
They do love the drama.
So they, in a sick, twisted way.
Maybe they don't know anything else, right? So it's like almost the discomfort of being in that space with this gaslighting narcissist, and they don't want to be able to remove themselves because they don't know. Probably fear, right?
Absolutely.
So that everyone stays in something for a reason.
And they're empaths, like I said before. So the empathic energy always wants to help and always wants to fix and whatever. And there is this very symbiotic relationship, almost, I shouldn't say symbiotic, I should actually say parasitical, very parasitical relationship with the gaslighter and the gaslighting narcissist and the empath.
Okay, gotcha.
So both of them are kind of, the empath is being parasitically sucked, but the empath is getting something out of it in their own fucking twisted, weird way too. So it's like this really sick, low vibrational dance between these two people.
Wow.
And the sad part is like narcissists usually don't change.
No.
It's not like they can like go to therapy over years and years and years and be like, I'm not a narcissist anymore.
They never look outside. They never think anything is wrong. So if you don't think anything's wrong, how are they ever going to make a change?
Right. And I was studying this and I was watching these videos, and there's this Russian guy, and he was giving a speech at some retreat center, and he was like, I am a gaslighting narcissist. I know this about myself. I love it. I actually derive so much pleasure from it. I can't help myself. It's an addiction. So he's like gone through like years and years and years of psychotherapy to get to the point where he just admits that he's this person and that he likes it.
I have spent millions of dollars to find out that I am an asshole.
Right. But he owns it though. He's like, this is just who I am.
This is who I am.
And he was like sexually molested as a child. There was like a lot of stuff that went on. And I was just like, wow.
Poor
so
guy.
usually people aren't really like born gaslighting narcissists. They go through things in their lives, usually that stem from childhood, that has to do with some kind of dissociative abuse, where they're abused so much, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually, whatever, or a combination of them, that they actually disassociate from their true self, i.e. becoming this gaslighting narcissistic personality disorder.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people like, you know, I've had friends and stuff where we've had conversations and, you know, my friend will be like, oh my God, that bitch is a gaslighting narcissist.
Yeah.
And she's really not. She's just self-centered and kind of a little egotistical. A gaslighting narcissist really is like
the things that you mentioned.
It's a disorder.
You
know, it's not like, oh, I feel like being a bitch today, so I'm going to fuck with this person. No, it's like a real, true personality disorder. So number one is limit your contact. I know that's hard, especially if you live in the same house with a gaslighting narcissist, where I know many of you out there listening probably do. Try to just limit your contact with the person as much as possible.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I definitely would.
Seriously. Number two, stand up and refuse to back down. Now, I'm saying this because you might want to do this. I've done this before in the past. It doesn't fucking work. Because the thing about standing up to a gaslighting narcissist is actually
putting fire. What do you call it?
It's fueling their fire.
Right?
Because they're getting attention out of you, right? And the thing about these people is that they have this like overwhelmingly intense energy where they can fight you to the death. Like you could literally be like in fights with these people for hours and days and months. And
well, that's what they love, right? So it's like whatever you love, right? Like me, I would like to go.
I like peace.
I like
simplicity
and pizza and chicken parm and those things. But I could do that all day, and then they can just fight all day long. And that juices
and they love it, and they love it, and it's like the more that they fight, the more attention you give them, the more it feeds their like venom. It's insane.
Cut that
so
off.
Obviously, like I'll say to you, because you know I'm an empowering, ambitious lady, but I'm going to be honest with you, this is probably not the route to go unless you're a sick fuck too, and you like are on like, I don't know, like an 8-ball of Coke, and you can just go for like 3 days.
An 8-ball of Coke? I haven't heard that since the 80s.
Yeah, because that's probably when last time people were actually doing 8 balls of Coke. Because seriously, you have to have so much energy, right?
Yeah.
Like drink a 40 Loco, take some fat burners, do some cocaine, and then try to do it. Because honestly, they will talk circles around you. They will bring up shit that you did 30 fucking years ago, and you'll be like, where is this coming from?
And then they'll start talking about something else, and you don't even remember that part.
Yeah.
Always moving.
Always moving around. So
what do you recommend? Just like almost like go off into the sunset with these people?
I'm going to keep saying it.
I would do that.
I'm just going to keep saying it.
I'm going off to the sunset. I'm busy.
Yeah.
No, I can't go.
And the more you just systematically cut them off, and you just stop feeding their energy, they go away. It will.
They find another victim.
That's actually true.
Right?
They'll find another
victim.
victim.
I'm pretty good at this stuff.
God. I think you've had your fair share of them, but I think you're just not remembering that you maybe had a lot of gaslighting narcissists around.
I have to think about this. I may have to relive my childhood.
Well, your mother was a little cray-cray.
Oh, my God, yeah. She had some issues. She definitely had some of this.
Do you think she was a gaslighter?
Oh, absolutely.
So what would she do? Example, please.
Let me think about what she used to do.
You know, I'm so sick of burying my soul in this motherfucking podcast, and this motherfucker gets off scot-free every goddamn week, and I'm sick of it. And he needs to air out his dirty laundry.
You know, I get in an argument or something like that, and it would turn into, well, you know, you don't love me, and I'm your mother, and all these different things. I'm like, well, I'm not even talking about this. I'm talking about this. It has nothing to do with you being my mother and love and anything like that. So they would just, to be able to win, like you said, they win the argument, and she would fight. Would
you just give up, though? After a while?
When I lived in the house with her, I would probably not. I would just move on. Yeah. You know, I'm out of here. I was on my bike 24/7 in the summer. I was like Stranger Kids, right?
Yeah,
in the summertime, I was like
things.
8 o'clock in the morning. I'd get up and I'll see you later. I was gone. You know, I was gone.
And then as an adult?
As an adult, you know, I could probably I would just want to get out of there, right? Just get out of the house.
Yeah, but she used to do things like when Karina was born, she would like send you like
oh my God, that was actually the cutoff point when my daughter actually was, just born, and she would be like sending like something in the mail, like, oh, congratulations, your daughter's so beautiful. And then all of a sudden, if I didn't call her at a certain time, or I didn't, do something at a certain time, she'd be like, well, you don't have to come by the house anymore, and we don't need you around anymore if you don't care about us. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
And then she would send you like baby pictures of yourself and shit.
Oh God, she'd send baby pictures in the mail.
Like, I don't need these anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just sick shit. So finally, I was just like, hey.
Your mother was gaslighting narcissist.
Yeah, she was a gaslighting narcissist.
Fuck.
I may have to go into therapy now.
No, you don't. No.
I didn't know this.
Well, you learn a lot from it. Because I don't see you ever getting into relationships ever with people who are like that now. So you probably learned your lesson with her. I learned
my lesson with her. At that time, I said, something? I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was a disorder. And I was kind of like, something? I'm not going to have my daughter around this energy. And that was pretty much it. And I didn't have anything to do with my mom pretty much after that. Because my job was to protect my child.
Yes.
Right? Because I'm grown. So I was like, that's it. I'm cutting the cord.
But what do we say though? What? It's our family. It's our family. It's my mother. It's my sister. It's my whoever. And it's like, that is bullshit, guys.
That's bullshit. Your job is to take care of yourself. Make sure that you're in a peaceful, right, harmonious situation in your life and your family. And if it's not, then that person needs to go. And it happened to be my mother. And I had a daughter, and I was like, something? She does not need this shit in her life. And I was just like, because
you keep repeating the cycle.
Repeat the cycle.
We keep repeating the cycle over and over and over again.
I never felt for that stuff. Like, it's this person. How could you do this? And how could you do that? I'd be like, something? This is fucking toxic, and I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Because I know what feels good to me. And when I made those decisions, things took off in my life.
I agree.
The right way.
100%.
The right way. Yeah, thanks for the therapy today, Katie.
Jesus
this is good. Very good on Ambitchious.
I'll be sending my bill in the mail. Number 3, never try to win. Every time that I was dealing with a gaslighting narcissist and I was like, today is the fucking day I'm going to bring this motherfucker down.
Oh, God, that's not good.
I would always end up like in a fetal position, crying, feeling crazy. And the thing is like, you're never going to win. No. You're never going to win. I hate to say it, you will never win against a gaslighting narcissist.
What is the win? The gaslighting narcissist is going to change the rules of the win.
Absolutely.
So if you start off in this direction, it's probably gone to 14 different directions.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So there is no win ever. And then what is a win in an argument anyways? Winning is get the fuck out of there. Right?
That's the win.
That's the win. If you can cut the cord and get the hell out of there.
But I think a lot of people they're like, I have to be right today because I need to like fill my tank up. And I'm like, dude, just let that shit go off into the sunset.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like a bad egg salad sandwich.
Yeah.
Let it go. Let it go. Number 4, stay on point with what you are trying to achieve. Remember, narcissists will always try to take center stage no matter what. Remember that movie, Mommy Dearest?
Oh, my God, yeah.
No, why are hangers ever?
Speaking of my mother, I would be like, I can't believe she wrote that story about her mom. I'm like, well, were you worried about something's going to leak out about you?
The gaslighting moms are always afraid of the memoirs that come afterwards.
That was her mother. No matter what went on in that house, they should have kept it quiet. Yep. I'm like, really?
Oh my God.
The lady was a psychopath.
Totally.
Psycho.
That's how I was taught too. Like when I was a child, like we don't talk about anything that goes on in this house. We don't air our dirty laundry out to the world. And it's like...
Well, this dirty laundry stinks, and I'm opening up a few windows.
Absolutely.
I'm chucking it out the door.
That was so true. Like I said already today at the podcast, they always have never-ending energy. So when it comes to pushing boundaries, winning an argument, and of course, looking good to the outside world. So here's the thing about narcissists. They are obsessed with always looking good to everyone outside, right?
Yes.
So like a lot of like gaslighting narcissists, like for instance, like a mom, like all your friends will be like, your mom is so cool. Your mom is the best mom. She helps and she does all these things. She lets us drink at the house. She lets us party. Like that's and then in the inside, you're like, oh my God, my mother is like this craziest, most psychopathic person in the world.
Linda Blair.
Linda Blair from The Exorcist. So it's like the narcissists are so obsessed with looking good to the outside world. So that's another little thing if you guys keep in the back of your head, like they always want to look good to the outside and they don't care what they look like to you.
And look like a victim too. I got this problem. I'm sick or right? And then the whole thing comes
That's like Munchausen syndrome.
They're loaded with
That's
all
a little Munchausen.
Now you got me now all my emotions are stirred up. They're loaded with it.
Child,
let's get back on my mother.
We could do a whole Munchausen syndrome by proxy show.
Oh God, she was probably poisoning me too.
Yeah. Little pine sol in your chicken soup.
I don't know if this is true.
Little pine sol in your chicken soup. Little white oleander. It doesn't show up in a toxicology report.
Good. Oh, don't start talking about getting rid of me again. I was talking about you last night at kickboxing, and it was all about getting,
Oh, you're just saying that because our attorney takes our kickboxing class. Yes. You're always trying to just push it out there, like
push it out
Marsha,
there.
just
and
in case.
If anything happens to me, she's going to use the podcast as a, what do you call it? An alibi.
Oh my God.
I would never say it if I was really going to do it. The oldest one in the book.
Matt, stop being a gaslighter. Okay. So remember, empaths, who are usually the prey for narcissists, can weaken, get tired, and let their guards down. And this is when we get ourselves in a wee bit of trouble. Then the narcissist sees the crack in our foundation and slithers their way in. We have to be strong, we have to be determined, and we have to be full of energy if we want to stand our ground with this type of personality disorder. We cannot draw a line. When I talk about this all the time on Ambitchious, you cannot draw a line saying this is my boundary, then allow the person to cross the line, back up 5 feet, and draw another line. Because all of a sudden, sooner or later, your back's going to be up against a wall, and you're not going to have any more area to draw a line.
People, when you do that, they don't believe you.
It's like the boy that cried wolf.
If I just do this, and I'll find another crack, like you said, to slither into, to kind of get back in good graces or whatever, and then they know that I broke that barrier. And because they're like war strategists, right? They don't have much else going on except trying to move those
Pretty
pieces.
Much. I mean, most people who are war strategists, like if you study war strategists throughout the thousands of years that we've been, roaming this earth, mostly to be in that position, they have to be very narcissistic. Like Napoleon, syndrome, This is number 5, and this is my very much favorite one because this is the only one that works. So the first 4, just act like those never happened. Just really do this.
Those are the make-believe ones.
Those are the ones that I was just trying to lubricate you guys to ease you in real slow and kind and gentle to really just say number 5, which is block them on all fronts. If I have come to any conclusion in my life that unfortunately this is the best method on the list and one that will never leave you guessing where you stand or if you are nuts and need to go to the special place and knit moccasins and eat tapioca pudding. Do you know where that special place is?
Sounds like a nice place. Where is it? No, it's not.
Fucking McLean Hospital.
Oh, probably. Jesus, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to stay out of there. Well, I'm good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have been in relationships with people over the years that I'm like, oh my God, maybe I'm the fucking crazy one. Maybe I'm the crazy one. And I would actually think that I was mental. I had problems because the gaslighting narcissist can get you so twisted in your brain that if you stay in a relationship like that for years and years and years, you might not come back from it.
Wow.
You may not come back from it. So what I'm saying to you,
that's sad.
But it's the world that we live in.
Run for the hills and stay the hell away from them because they're not bringing any pleasure or anything positive to your life.
No, it's torture. And remember, they're your tormentors. So remember the word tormentor. The root of that word is mentor. So you always have to say to yourself, what is this person, even though they're sick fucks, trying to teach me? Or what is the lesson? Because I don't believe anything in this world happens for nothing. Do you agree? Nothing is coincidence.
There's always a reason, and there's whether it's cut somebody out or whatever, or for your own growth to recognize the problem, learn from failures or defeat or narcissist or whatever, and then move on in a positive way. And learn.
Don't repeat it. Don't repeat the cycle. Yeah. Remember, guys, relationships on this earth are supposed to be loving and kind and fun and reciprocative and gentle. They're not supposed to leave you feeling sad and anxious and depressed and questioning your sanity. And if you leave hanging out with people or spending time with people and you feel negative emotions, that is a red flag.
Run
for the hills.
Run for the hills.
Cut them off. Really start thinking about who you spend your time with, what you're spending your time on, because we only have this one precious human life that we have been gifted, and use it wisely. Use it to serve and help people and to love people, and not dealing with people who just want to shit in your oatmeal.
And mostly love yourself, because that's not loving yourself putting you in that space.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being crusaders for this movement, which is called Ambitchious. And like I always say, see you next Tuesday. Ow!
That was a great one, babe.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.